Okay, now Val.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yes, well, I would be trying to run away.
Right. You're yeah, so 2, that's not too bad of a roll to beat. And the other one 3.
So these are both athletics still, right?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's not good. So yeah, so you took a 2 and you took a 4.
So I don't
5 actually.
I have one stress left, I guess. And that's it.
Yeah, well then you've got your consequences.
Blood loss and the sprained knee.
Oh, that's right. You've got oh geez, you have only the one severe. Yeah, so you can. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want to kill characters off at this point. So you can take. So you can use your severe and then your final stress box, I guess, on this to counteract that.
Okay, so severe is things like a broken leg.
Right. Or like guts oozing out of your body.
Might be a good idea not to do anything that would keep you from being able to run out of there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have fate points to invoke against you guys at this point, so.
So does the consequence have to be to me physically, or could it be like the destruction of the Mark 1?
No, it's got to be against you.
All right then. How about
Yeah, this can be like one of the big gory type wounds that would normally take you years to heal from. In game mechanics sense, it only it's still a couple weeks, which is a while. And
yes. Well, I'm thinking
terms,
something
but
along the lines of like the thing goes through his shoulder. The root punctures through his shoulder, so that would incapacitate his left arm.
Okay, yeah, like severe nerve damage to shoulder.
Well, I'm thinking like a broken arm. I mean,
right, compound fracture in arm, compound shoulder fracture.
Does it have to be a compound fracture? Do you have to be picking bones out?
It's got to be really bad.
Okay.
I mean, just narratively. I mean, again, mechanically, it's not going to last. It's not going to take you like 3 months to have it fixed. But
if you just break a limb, you're not going to be able to use it for a couple of weeks, aren't you?
Right. Well, and anybody who figures out you got a broken limb has a +6 advantage to use against you. But yeah.
Well, yeah, kick someone in the broken arm.
Looks like I'll take broken arm.
Use that on like just a rapport roll. You're like, I gotta go talk to this guy in the street. What are you doing? Oh, push you in the arm. -6 to your roll. No, but yeah, you're okay. So you've got that. Okay, so all right, then the dude. I'm gonna have him fire at Louis since Louis is the one who's not about to die. 1. Beat a 1 with your survival.
Survival. Oh, what? I think I have a 1.
Come on, man.
Survival. Yeah, I go. +1. Oh, for fuck's sake.
So 3 stress.
Okay, so that means I can cross my 1 off and I get a mild consequence.
Yeah, minor. Yeah, minor, mild, whatever. Not the moderate, but the mild consequence.
Okay, so yeah, I'm guessing this bullet grazes his arm.
Okay.
We get.
Oh wow, I could have used that. I could have used that boost, and then you would have been dead for sure. But oh well. Okay. All right. Then. All right. So back to you, Artem. What are you doing?
Watching in horror.
I was half expecting counting his money.
Actually,
So I'm out in the
middle of
cabin,
this. You're
right?
like, yeah, you're in the little the little alcove, well, not the alcove, but
do I have line of sight on the shooting zombie?
Yes, I think you do.
Okay. I'll try.
Although it's still over on the other side of that.
Okay. But if I have line of sight, I can try and shoot it, right?
Sure, yeah.
I was suggesting that maybe hold to help them get out of the room.
Or create some kind of advantage to help them
us
or
get
help
out of the
Brian.
room.
Yeah, actually helping Brian would be a good idea too, since you're.
Could he,
Right.
like, maybe you could shoot at the legs or something of the other thing? I don't know. Could create an advantage, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, without doing damage, you could create an advantage that way, sure.
Um, yeah, so if I... God damn it. I'm just trying to think of... Okay, so if I try to scrounge around, what could be useful in this situation? That could be found where we are. What do we have? We have a horse blanket cover.
Yeah, that moldy horse blanket. Not sure how you'd be using that in this
We have
situation, but it's
cooked
there.
dynamite that's in Brian's hands.
Right.
We have
Have some
That's some getting closer.
have some cooked milk maybe to give it some cancer.
cooked milk. Do we have anything that could cause autism? Any vaccines around?
Oh, hey, he's got some insecticide. Maybe it's got some
Insecticide.
got some MMR vaccine in there.
All right, so how about can I throw insecticide? Presumably would, blow up along with the dynamite. Maybe help it.
Yes, except that the insecticide is like on Val's person, so it'd be.
Oh, never mind. Oh, what's we have rotten food if I remember right.
Well, it does communicate by chemicals, and it is a rotten meat smell. That is the chemical.
Yeah, if you're going to use that to create an advantage, it sounds more like an advantage you'd be creating against the
zombie.
the dude, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm wondering if you can use that to lure it into attacking its mother.
Well, we do have rotten. Oh. Huh.
Because if you can, if you could get, say, the rotten meat on the mother, maybe the
No,
zombies...
but the thing is, if she smells like rotten meat, that tells him that she's his mom. Then if we cover ourselves in rotten meat, perhaps
I was thinking about it
we
slightly
become
differently.
friendlies.
No, she already...
I think that is exactly the kind of thing that Lazar might do. That I might give him a fate point after this whole thing's over from doing.
Looks all horrified and starts rubbing himself with rotten meat.
It's an idea. Come on, guys. You said it smells like rotten, like a corpse flower, right?
This is bound to work, I think.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll anything to do that?
Make sure you get lots of rotten meat on
No,
your
you don't need to roll a thing to cover yourself with rotten meat.
All right, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, then. Let me remember to give you a fate point after we're done. Okay, Val.
I just want to make sure that Lazar gets lots of rotten meat on this pink thing.
Right, so in the meantime, yeah, you're out.
You guys
you're
are
still...
being such a hell.
I'm trying to run away.
Okay, you're just gonna run back into the
I
cavern.
want to get out of tentacle range now that I have a broken arm, blood loss, and a sprained knee.
You're like limping your way out there, barely passing by the guys who do that. Okay, Louis, Constantine.
Well,
If there's
Constantine
anything-
has a slight wound to his arm and he's fairly stressed out. So yeah, this is the point where he also thinks that it's probably best to leg it.
All right. Sorry. Looking through here. Yeah. So, sorry. Keep forgetting whose character is what. Oh, that's right. You got the good demolition. So, Brian, one thing you're noticing about that you just kind of get as a free notice there is this area here where the cavern kind of meets into the into the big room. It doesn't look like it's that steady. Like perhaps a strong blow to that section would knock that whole area down.
I was actually thinking something to that effect when I went.
Okay.
Thank you.
Walter.
In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and just call that a
Structural integrity field.
right. Poor structural integrity. Okay, so all right, so yeah, so it's got the poor structural integrity on that.
I just realized that if this ends up collapsing, we'll have effectively destroyed all the evidence present on the scene by either setting fire to it or collapsing something onto it.
And you didn't ever actually. Well, we'll see what else comes of that. Okay, so all right, so Constantine, you just moved out. Okay, you just moved out from the room into the cavern with everybody else.
With some alacrity.
Okay. Perhaps dragging Val along since Val can barely walk.
Yeah, but
On
he's
his
a nice
two
guy.
limbs.
Even though this brat keeps calling him Connie.
You like moments, like periodically punching him in the shoulder. Like, how's that feel, sir? Brian.
Demolitions.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and make that roll. So I assume that you're using it to blow up the cavern, or you gonna throw that directly at the mob?
I'm going to blow it in such a way that the cavern, stalactites, whatever's up there is going to do the most damage when it falls down and hits it.
Okay. All right.
I'm not trying to block the passageway though either.
So you are trying to block the passageway.
No,
You said
I'm not trying to block the passageway.
Okay. All right. Okay. So all right. So you're trying. Okay. So you're trying to use the port structural integrity to kind of throw rubble at this. Okay. All right. So okay. Go ahead and make your roll
I
then.
tried very hard to quickly find a Bible verse that fit, and I didn't. So I say something rather ominous from the Bible.
Right. Man shall not lay down with a woman.
Holy rat.
Oh my God. Yeah, that might take a bit. So the good news is you're out of way of the mama creeper. Bad news is this other guy still gets to shoot at somebody. Since you just threw the stick of dynamite, that was your only stick of dynamite too, wasn't it?
I mean, I've got a few actually. Is the way I thought of it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's like I bet. Well,
I've got the one that I light my cigarette off of every time, and cigarettes.
It's got a kind of a short
the
stub.
fuse gets shorter every time I smoke.
Well, in any case, the creeper is shooting at you.
Pennsylvania roulette.
So go and make a survival roll against that.
Sure.
Against a 0.
Oh.
All right. So let's see. Oh, that was you. So okay. So it starts to shoot at you, and you kind of thought you were dodging out of the way, but you don't have the best equilibrium right now because your ears are still ringing from that earlier shot, and so you take 3 stress.
Ow.
Can you use its confusion as an advantage to counter that?
Do I have to spend a fate point to use my protection that I have in my pocket?
Oh, you still have that right as your boost. So yeah, you can go ahead and that was a boost that I took off the board for whatever reason, but sure, you can use that.
Yeah, I'll use that boost for sure.
Okay, so you're back to being tied again. So that just means you have a new boost.
Yeah, how are you going to work that out narratively?
It's just a flesh wound. It's shot like in the arm, but it doesn't. You barely got shot.
Well, he's
Just
got his the Himmelsbrief in his pocket, and when the tentacle hits him right in the chest where his heart would have been, it glows orange and singes the tentacle instead of going into my heart.
Well, it was he was shooting you with a
Oh,
gun.
I'm sorry. Okay, the bullet then.
Turns orange and gets singed.
Yeah, the bullet just kind of melts away in some kind of holy kind of like a big orange cross-looking thing.
And make a sanity check.
Chest pains. So since you said so, Val. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Then okay. Meanwhile, the mother is not happy. Actually, you know what?
Mother is not happy.
What was the effect of the dynamite?
Well, you missed, so it just dropped a bunch of rubble all over the place
I
on the
didn't
floor.
realize I got you.
Yeah, I rolled like an 8.
You
So
mustn't upset mother.
yeah. In fact, what you do see, because this is maybe not the most functional family.
Maybe.
The mom latches on to her kid. 1,
We've all been there.
2.
Have we?
Oh shit.
Maybe it was just your mom.
So flailing
3.
about in severe pain and not communicating with its child.
That's 10. Oh my god.
Yep, that sounds like Christmas at our house, all right?
Sorry. Wow. So it just latched onto its son, and suddenly, like, yeah, it's no longer wilted. Yeah. So suddenly, like the vines seem to just kind of regrow of their own thing. Like you can't really see from here, but you can sense that perhaps the root damage that you'd done has kind of healed itself.
Oh,
And then it seems to look very, very healthy now.
And the zombie?
The zombie falls down and is not moving. In fact, yeah, it looks like it just kind of sucked every last bit of life from him.
Let's get out of here.
So I guess that's one less you have to worry about.
Yay.
All right, so Artem, your move.
Run away.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, at this point, I mean, unless you guys want to, run back into combat against this guy, I think that ends combat. In fact,
sounds like a plan.
So
given that I think almost all of our characters have no slots left to give, that's probably good.
I think I got away with a minor consequence and 3 stress.
right, yeah,
Good
I
for
think
you.
Val is who got tagged.
I think
more
you
than
got mangled.
anybody
the
else.
I got
right.
pretty hurt.
I got hurt pretty
Although-
bad.
I was kind of hoping that first shot was going to be the one that did it, because that was the fun one. But
As soon as we're free, I'd like to perform first aid on myself and any other players.
all right, yeah. So you can.
I think Val probably needs.
Oh no, wait,
Right.
with this hand. I'm waiting
Need
with this hand
Averlamp.
because this one's broken.
Constantly just
Right,
has
so-
the grace and the stress. That's all right.
Yeah. So the bad news about the first aid is you only get to use it once, and basically what it does is it can lower the severity of one wound from one level basically.
Yeah, I think you're.
So that means that Val basically has like no room to lower anything, because he doesn't have a spot for a moderate consequence or a mild consequence. So he can only get rid of the mild one basically.
So is anybody more severe than me then?
Sorry?
Anybody else have a severe other than myself
Well,
and Val?
And I'm sorry, when I say you can use it once, it's once per person.
Oh, one per
so-
person.
Right.
Well, if you can at least eliminate my blood loss.
Right.
Okay, rolling for Val.
Yeah. So it's against the severity of the wounds. It's +2 that you're rolling against. So
3.
all right. So that made it. So all right, you can knock off at least the wound part.
What was your wound?
Blood loss.
The minor consequence.
My healing method is probably a little different than you're used to. Include Bible verses and lore.
To be honest, at this point, Val's probably not paying that much attention to what you're doing.
Just make sure that you bury these 2 sticks in your backyard and pray over them nightly, or it's going to come back.
Well, when I have a backyard, I'll do that. I live in an apartment.
Any backyard, an elm tree helps.
All right.
And then for myself,
Right. So what are you trying to wipe off the board then?
I'm trying to wipe. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and yeah. Well, I already rolled. That's not fair. You want me to re-roll after I state what I'm doing?
Well, we can use this roll, but what were you getting rid of? Do you have what are your consequences that you have right now?
I have a 2 and a 4. I've got my side hurt as a moderate.
Right. So yes, you've got to use you'd have to use it on the 2 for the same reason that Val can't use it on his 6.
Sure. We'll take care of the mild forehead wound. And,
okay. So yeah, you're like,
whoa. I'm going to cauterize that with a piece of something, hot coal.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like
nice.
you pray. You're like praying before.
Anybody else?
Yeah, as long as you're holding the hot coal. If
Sure.
you could have a look at this graze on my arm, that would be lovely.
There you go.
John,
More of the coal, less of the Bible verses. Thank you.
Wow. That really worked for you.
Yeah.
John, what was my consequence?
You wanted to put that on your character sheet. I don't remember if I kept track of yours or not.
I don't think we decided on what mine was.
Well, I know we decided on the severity. It was a mild, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I never figured out. So, what do you want it to be? Hurt penis.
Yeah. Could you look at my penis?
We could save ourselves some imagination and just see if it's healed.
It's poisoned.
You realize I'm going to have to break out the leeches for you, sir.
You sure you don't have to suck the poison out?
Leeches. So
I don't
I
remember
rolled a 6 and probably valiantly healed Louis.
Right.
And then Lazar. Not that 5.
All right. So, okay. So then you made that roll. So yeah. So it looks like you got rid of your. He sucked the poison out. The milky poison. All right. So okay. So I presumably you're making your way back up top because ain't no way you're fighting that dude again.
Not right now.
Well,
Not without fate points.
I do have more
Right.
dynamite.
I mean, now that the one dude's gone, I mean, you're the next room over. You can just, I mean, chucking it in at the creeper might not be the best thing in the world to do, but I mean, you can close up the hole in some way.
Do we want to close it up though? Like, would this be something that we should be reporting back to head office and getting some more soldiers to come in?
I think what we need better weaponry.
Yeah, I mean, the one doesn't necessarily mean you can't do the other.
A
But,
better
Well,
strategy
this
at
is-
the very least.
Yeah, but this is basically where Constantine's long experience of spies and Nazis comes in, and he kind of pieces together that we've been followed and hounded by these people at every turn. So we have no reason to assume that they're not pretty much directly behind us. So if we withdraw and recuperate, we may leave them to find whatever it is to find it.
yeah, as a matter of fact, so as you're climbing out, to go back up, you go out and you hear like a massive explosion coming from the road.
Hey, that wasn't me.
No, it was your booby traps, wasn't it?
There's booby traps in
Right.
the forest.
Yeah, that was a booby trap.
Car.
So from the direction of where I just squiggled out the little red line, that's where you hear the massive explosion.
Well, good on you for setting the traps.
Is that where we heard it? Where my traps were?
Yes, yeah, you heard it right where your trap
Well,
was.
let's hope more of us didn't.
And fate points.
We're sitting here healing.
That would be a vanishing trick.
We're all pretty hurt. Is this worth investigating, or should we heal up first?
Yeah, no, Constantine is pretty firm that we need to, if we can, find a way to close this hole up and then get the hell out of Dodge.
Right.
Close the hole then?
So, yeah, you can, right. I'll go ahead and I don't really see a good consequence of what would happen if you didn't close. Actually, I can think of a great consequence of what happened if you didn't close the hole properly, but you also have time to do it, I think, at this point. So, yeah, so you go ahead. You got the hole closed. The creeper, you have no idea what its status is. You heard it, but yeah, I don't know. Who knows what's going on there?
I rigged the explosion so that it only goes off as we're walking away in slow motion.
And you have to walk in slow motion or else it doesn't go off. No, you're walking too quickly. Okay, so all right, so you're outside of the little place now?
Sure.
Assume you're like right there. Okay, so what are you doing?
What's the terrain like?
So yeah, there's that old abandoned farmhouse, up in front of you. There's the road. There's several, a bunch of trees and foliage, so you can't really see what's going on up there. Although you see a lot of smoke.
Okay, in the direction that the direction opposite to the one that the explosion was from, is there like cover? Is there opportunity to slink away unseen?
Yeah, actually, that was another thing that Brian found. So Killian found rather. So you can thank him. Yeah, there is where it says higher ground. There is a little knoll, grassy knoll that you can look out on.
And I remember him. Didn't he also, apart from booby trapping the truck, Killian didn't Killian also leave like an escape route, which he also booby trapped?
Oh, right.
Am I remembering that correctly?
It's the escape route that I'm thinking is what blew up. We deactivated the explosives in the car.
Yeah, you deactivated the explosives down to the south.
That's what I used down in the cave.
Right. You deactivated the explosives down here. But you never deactivated the one going into the barn, which was a good thing because you're covering your tracks. So
there's one more setup up there that was part of the escape route then.
Okay, so yeah, I don't remember that, but that sounds good. Yeah, so we'll say there's one like right up there. Whoops, wrong color.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's some kind of slightly hidden trail or something that I staked out with a claymore-like explosion as we're running in case we were being chased.
Yeah, there's that well-designed dashy line there is your escape route that you found.
This way, guys.
Right. So up in the higher ground, you can see enough. It looks like there's an overturned car out there. Just double
Does it look
here.
like it's a Nazi car?
It looks black.
Yeah, it's a Nazi car.
There looks like there's a couple of good guys only drive white cars.
I feel like that's horses.
And hats. Yeah, otherwise, let's see. There's a couple of bodies, like sitting, sprawled out near it. They do seem to be wearing like dark, army type uniforms. Louis, with your tradecraft skill, you can divine they look kind of like SS uniforms, but not exactly. There's some small differences in the dress.
Right, but do I and do I like also plan to spend some time in Germany as well? So does he
Sure.
like can he say with any certainty that these are some kind of German uniform?
Um, from this distance, it would be tough. I mean, if you were to go down there and search, you probably could figure something like that out.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad plan.
What could go wrong?
Well, they're down. Their car exploded. They don't have scale. We are armed,
Right. Right.
and we
Yeah, you
fueled
guys
up a
still have
little bit.
weapons.
And we have a very scary
And
fire gun.
and the bodies that you do see, they don't seem to be moving.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Cautiously, we can approach, I suppose.
All right. So, I mean, that would be a stealth roll then. So, who's taking point?
I don't have stealth.
I have stealth at fair.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
Okay.
stealth.
Val, I don't think you should be. I don't
That's,
think you should be taking point.
If anything, even though I'm a crappy shot, if anything, I should be like lookout or something.
If you're conscious, I would be shocked.
Well, no.
All right. So, yeah. So,
Okay, wait.
So
wait,
while you
wait,
guys
I've got a plan actually.
Well-
Something that Constantine could use.
well, so while you,
Sorry.
well, Brian just rolled for stealth. So,
I disappear.
so while you guys are arguing who should take point, he's like, "Screw it, I'm the Jedi," and he goes up. Yeah, you get up. You don't see anybody seeing you. In fact, it doesn't really look like there's anybody out here to see you. There's a couple bodies still in the car. There's like I said, the couple of dudes that are sprawled out near you. And the one thing that you do see when you get up there is you see an insignia on these guys that looks like that.
Lore roll.
Can I use my point impulse control to yell out really loudly?
Oh, no.
Check if they're all dead.
Okay, well, yeah, that's good. So so you just heard. I think that works. Like we're reaching the end of this thing anyway, but okay, yeah, that works. All right, so you yell that. Brian, so from where you are, you hear somebody firing wildly in your direction. Go ahead and make a roll against your survival.
Okay, and I made that lore roll on that symbol, by the way.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's not really like a. I mean, there are
It's
so
not
like,
a mystical
there's-
symbol, right? It's more of a organization.
I mean,
Well, in this case,
yeah, there's like a mystical basis for the symbol, and like, you're aware of there's various cults around the sun, and the fact that this is like a black sun, is probably meaningful in some way, and you think of images of a sound garden.
Ah,
Oh wow, I rolled well on that. I'm sorry, Brian.
yeah, I saw that. I rolled shitty.
Um,
I would have
Damn.
had if I had a fate point, I'd have a great way out of this, but I'm not sure because I've got practically a German myself.
right. Well, that would give you the +2 back. Also, man.
Lazar has a fate point. Can't Lazar just shout, "He's a German"?
these guys are Nazis.
Okay, so what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to, because this guy is wanting to save his own life more than anything else. He is, and that's you again. That's right. So, going to use some of this. Okay, so you are pinned down. So that takes it down to 3.
I could yell that I'll give them medical aid if they drop their guns.
I'll let you do that when it comes time for you to move. Okay, so he takes that. So you're taking 4 points of stress, Oh, by the way, you guys did get enough time to where you cleared out your stress boxes, not your consequences, but stress.
Oh, okay.
Like while you were taking that time to tend to everybody's wounds, I think that's going to be enough time to take a little break for your stress.
So I'll take
Wow.
2 points in the box. I'll leave the one open, and then I'll take the same forehead wound opens back up, maybe.
Okay.
Is that right?
Like you just
Take
kind
a
of
minor.
right, just like hitting the deck. You like banged your head against a rock and knocked yourself out. No, I'm just kidding. Um, this is a guy, by the way, you can concede against. So I'm not that you necessarily want to, but he is there that you can do that.
Well,
Explain that.
Constantine has a fantastic idea and a role that I want to make more than anything else in the world,
Okay.
because he is a master of disguise, and he decides to very rapidly, very expertly, like with nearly inhuman skill, disguise himself as a bush.
No, no.
Please.
You can yell
They're like,
something
yeah,
in
that's
German
going a
that would.
bit too
And I've
far.
got a reason for it, because I want to, there's someone shooting, and I want to use it as a substitute for skill.
Yeah, no.
But
If you have like a Geely suit on you, I could like see something around there. But yeah, just mechanically, there are some ways you can overdo the fate thing, and that might be an example
it's actually
of
really soon.
overdoing reality with fate.
But you could. I mean, couldn't he fake German accent and try to uh, issue a command to this guy to stand down?
But
That would be a much more normal thing you could do. Yes.
okay, so but that would not be a tradecraft roll. That would be a rapport
Deceive.
roll or deceive.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I've got
Deceive
high
roll. Yeah.
deceive. Yeah,
Don't you have that? Yeah. Don't you have that stunt where you can intimidate somebody with deceive as long as you're telling a lie?
I can use deceive in place of provoke.
Right.
No, provoke is provoke.
Well, provoke would be like intimidating him.
Oh, okay.
That's like the thing about that role is it just has to be like a bald-faced lie. You just have to be like, I will take you back to Germany and beat you with my own bottom beater. If you do not stop shooting right now.
Yeah, so it's not going to be that.
I mean, I'm just generally saying, just have fun with it. Just be.
Yeah, fair.
If you as long as you tell like a really really corny lie.
Corny lie. Okay. Well, I think to be honest with you, that Constantine wants to keep this kind of simple and sweet and fast. So he basically just yells, this is Oberleutnant Kemper of the German intelligence service. I order you to, in the name of the Führer, I order you to lay down your weapon immediately, or you will be reprimanded or shot.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a provoke attack. So go ahead and make your provoke roll.
He's making a deceive roll, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he gets
Deceive
to provoke
in place of provoke.
Right, that's what his thing. Deceive in place of provoke when he's telling a lie.
Right.
To do it.
I may be crazy.
Yeah. So you hear a like in the woods, you hear a gun clattering to the ground, and then, Mein Führer, I am so sorry.
Well, he goes with it. Connie immediately goes with it, and Constantine he walks out. He just walks out brazen as anything, and walks in the direction of this German soldier.
Goose steps in the direction of a German soldier.
Steps, yeah, he just marches. Prim as a Prussian officer.
Right. Well, and I'm sorry, when I say he's yelling out, it's more of like a kind of a very light kind of. The guy doesn't sound like he's in very good shape. So yeah, I mean he seems to be hiding within like a row of bushes. You can kind of see.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Constantine goes for it and asks the others with a hand gesture to wait for a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So there's a guy there's a guy in there. He is he's like clutching his side. He seems to be bleeding profusely out of there. He's also got cuts along his head. He looks like a guy who was just thrown from a car. He also doesn't, judging by the large pool of blood on the ground around him, it doesn't look like he's that much longer for this world either.
Okay, well, Constantine just kneels down at his side and immediately start kind of doing this superficial tending of the guy's wounds, even though it's pointless. And he just straight off tries to comfort this soldier in German, by lying to him and saying, "Don't worry, you'll be all right. Help is on the way. Reinforcements are not far behind."
All right, so yeah, go ahead and make a disease roll. Yeah, you are good at lying. Um, oh wow, yeah. So that worked. So that created an advantage.
I think you'll find that I'm terrible at lying.
Which is ironically a lie. Okay, yeah. So he's hanging on to every word you say. As far as you're concerned, as far as he's concerned, you're an officer. You're not exactly sure what.
So he's pretty sure you're not Mickey Mouse.
Okay, yeah. So Constantine keeps lying, and he says, first he still makes a show of taking care of this poor kid, but he also says, we were not informed that there would be another unit active in this area. Quickly report on what happened here.
All right. Yeah, that is okay. That's going to be where we start doing stuff. So, yeah. So okay. All right. So yeah, go ahead and make a rapport roll.
That's actually not a very good skill then.
Yeah, that is yeah.
But
well, that's why you build up that trail of lies so that he's unfortunately, you missed that. You missed that by so much that even using help is on the way isn't going to help. So he's like, "What group are you with?"
Okay, well,
I do not recognize. I don't recognize that insignia, mein Herr.
Can I step in and try to assist when I see this is going maybe not a little bit, and try to help with the deception myself by speaking to him in German and saying, Obenherr or whatever, and
in your Pennsylvania Dutch?
Well, I'm practically a German myself. My training is along these same lines.
Sure. Yeah, you can try. Although I like that idea that, and I'm holding up a fate point. I like that idea that you are a mountain Jedi, and unfortunately, you think you know German a little bit better than you do, and it's very, very obvious that your German is with a very, very heavy accent.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, yeah, I'm a country boy to these guys.
Right, and then Constantine, because he's a spy, he's an infiltrator. He knows how to roll with the punches. So the guy has asked him what unit he is from while Killian is coming up, and Constantine just lies and he says, "We're with a special unit of a Gruppe so and so with American volunteers to the SS cause."
Okay. Yeah. So it's like, why are you with an Americana? Okay. So go.
Really
that sounds
American,
like
but.
That's
to a German.
Constantine just lies immediately because they can be used very well in infiltrating the United Kingdom.
Right. I mean, it sounds you don't sound American, like you've got an American accent. You don't sound like you have a German accent.
No.
It's like to a German person, you're like, oh yeah, that guy's from Pennsylvania, isn't he? Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll a deceive roll then. And still made it, even with that not great roll. Okay, so yeah, that is with style as well. Damn. There we go. Does that work? Hoping it does. Okay. So yeah, he seems to have bought your line about the Americana.
Okay, I tell him.
Doesn't look like a very good spy.
Okay, I tell him, and this is a twist. I tell him a lie. I tell him that it is essential to the operation of our unit that he reports on what happened to his unit.
All right. Yeah. So go and make a deceive roll. Um, I still feel like that's probably a rapport roll, but probably doesn't matter. Well, yeah, even with what you've got. So, okay, all right. So you didn't really need to even use these. So, yeah, it's like I am just a line soldier. So I would tell you to talk to my commander, but he is in the car, and he did not make it. He starts crying.
Okay, I ask him what unit he is with.
So, if you know our unit at all, you know that I cannot give that information away. Then he realizes that he's still got the insignia sitting on there, and he starts like covering it.
Okay, I'm backing it up with another lie, and I'm saying that Reichsmarschall so and so. I'm naming this incredibly high up guy in the military. I'm saying that he's my uncle, and he will not be happy to hear of this lack of cooperation in this matter that is so essential to the safety of the German Reich.
All right, yeah. So go ahead and make your. I think we're going back to a provoke roll, but it's deceive. And yeah, so you got that.
Can I succeed with style if I invoke something?
Sure, you can. This is going to be a.
Is that actually worth it?
So he looks like physically afraid by you saying that. And the whole thing seems to be not helping him health wise. I say this. He looks like he's visibly scared, like he wants to get out of the situation at all costs. Like not just like he is stuck between a rock and a hard place, basically. Like your dad, cousin or whatever on the one hand, whatever he's working for on the other hand, like neither one of them, just you from your empathy, seems to be a really great option.
Okay, I'm going to do a twist, and I'm going to an empathy roll, and I'm going to look him very sternly in his eyes, sternly but friendly, and I'm going to say, "Son, the Führer would want you to tell me everything you know."
That's a rapport.
Right. That's still rapport.
Okay.
Yeah, empathy would be like, I'm just gonna let him talk about his feelings and.
Okay, I'll go for the
empathy is more like finding weakness, right?
Yeah, there's a number of ways you can do it. I mean, empathy is more of a passive skill, like
reading information off of someone.
Right.
That's not good.
Oh wow, yeah. So, well, you're still within, the area. You've got the roll failed by 2.
Can I invoke can I invoke one of those aspects on the board to re-roll?
Yes, actually, you got a minus. Yeah, so sure. Which one did you want to invoke and want to narrate how you're invoking it?
Constantine tells this very injured soldier that we don't have a lot of time, because when the reinforcements get here, we'll have to move very, very quickly. And, I want to give you every chance to help yourself and to, make sure that everyone knows that this was not down to your conduct.
All right. Okay. So go and re-roll then. Sorry, I'm sure that was fun for everybody. Okay, so all right, yeah, that looks like that was enough. Okay, so if you have to know, we were specifically sworn to secrecy because you know that our rivals are also in this area, and we need to be the ones who who recover the lost artifacts.
Okay, I'm going to again go for a rapport role. I'm going to Constantine's going to tell him, soldier, your unit, you just got wiped out. Like your superior just got wiped out. If this, if we want to do this for the health of the Reich, then you have to tell me everything I need to know. I need to know where you're based. I need to know where to pick this up after you're gone.
Man,
Can I?
gonna go ahead and this is a point. This is the point where this is I'm not playing it off of your sheet, but I nevertheless think that this is when I'm gonna give to you because I think this is the dramatically appropriate point for him to shuffle off this mortal coil.
Okay, well, like
It's like
all the friendliness and camaraderie and all the fake bonhomie immediately fade for Constantine, and he just turns very hard and cold and professional and starts going through this kid's clothes.
he's like we are based out of bleh.
My goose is cooked.
By the way, there's a part that's similar to that, or you think they're going to do that in Daredevil, which is kind of awesome. This part, like, his name is.
Would he have been savable?
It would have been pretty tough. Yeah. Mechanically, that would have been rough. Just where you are, you don't really have the right. And you do everything with lore, but you still have the issue of you don't really have the right equipment.
My guy's fine with shooting Nazis in a war situation, but he's not fine with killing, murdering, basically. Or, if
Right.
he could save a life, he would have at least tried. But if there's no saving him, then...
Yeah, he was
survival
bleeding out
as a field medic.
Yeah, you've already had the field medic used on you by Brian.
No, field medic is a separate thing. You can use survival as well, can't you?
Yeah, you can only use one medic skill per thing unless the situation changes.
And I have...
Because otherwise you just have like 4 medics and just everybody like, okay, we heal everybody up, we're done.
Oh, so I can't use my survival on me?
Right.
I don't think survival is a healing thing. Survival...
Well, there's a way that you can invoke survival if you have, I think, this field medic stun
I see.
To use it. But
maybe you create aspects maybe to help us.
On page 81, it just says you can use survival as a field medic, like to treat mild or
right. And
I just didn't realize that you could only be treated once.
Right. Yeah. The medic skills, and I mean these kind of skills in general, you can only use a skill once until the situation changes. I mean the same would apply like if you had like 2 guys who knew biology. And one guy tried to roll, the other guy's like, I want to know more information. He wouldn't be able to make that roll unless the situation changed. You can make the roll, it just doesn't do any good.
Okay.
Can I do it kind of like a quick roll for investigating all of the corpses?
Okay, sure, yeah. Go ahead and make your investigate roll.
So...
It's going to be against, 1. So, okay, yeah, so you found, you found like more signs of the insignia. I mean, they don't have, you're kind of expecting to find, like papers maybe that, say, meet us at blah, 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 this side. There's really not much there in that way. This is the same group that where you killed the 2 guys on the train, if that helps.
Right.
And, of course, you remember from the conversation that he did refer briefly to a rival group in the area.
And artifacts.
Okay, who looks like the highest rank? Is there one like identifiably the leader? Does he have like insignia that the others don't have, or is there any way to tell?
Well, yeah, just from the way he's dressed, I don't have a lot of experience with like how Germans, show.
He looks more douchebaggy than the other ones.
Right. Yeah. He's got 4 ears like that he's got on his right breast front pocket.
So what do his clothes look like? What condition are they in?
He was one of the guys who got stuck in the car as it blew up and burned to death. So they're not in great condition.
Right.
If you're wanting to steal them and
Yeah. Constantine wants to try to salvage, the most high, the highest ranking uniforms he can find that are still usable when he makes his disguises.
Can I
Right.
actually
So, I mean, you can
roll for that? Can I use my scavenging stunt?
the scrounging. Well, I mean, exactly what you're looking for in this case. So it's not really. I think the scrounging is more of like a, hey, I need to find like a lighter somewhere
okay.
here, and hey, you can do it that way. In this case, Constantine knows exactly what he's looking for and exactly where to find it as well.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of like how good condition these are. So,
Well, I'm thinking that
as far as
this
that
is
goes, though,
basically like crafting a disguise, isn't it? What he's doing now. He
right.
does.
Well, I'd say I think it's straight up trade craft. So you don't get the little disguise bonus, but you do get your tradecraft roll that you get to do.
Okay. Cool.
Too. It's not the greatest roll, but it's still good enough to get the I mean the uniforms there. It's not in good enough condition to be able to wear, but it's good enough condition to where you can grab it and you can see like what cloth it's made from. If you have the time and the resources, you could probably sit down and make a good replica of this uniform.
Okay.
You might want to maybe write that down in your character sheet or something to keep track of that. But yeah, so that's that. Otherwise, I mean, there doesn't seem to be anybody else running forward, almost as if maybe the group that was following had their own vehicle blown up before they could do it. So you're kind of you're out here. That's right. You guys did go here in a car, which they would have seen coming in, but didn't stop them from being dead. So,
Do they have any weapons?
What didn't blow up in the explosion? They've got the guns, those little machine pistols the Germans have.
MP40s?
Yeah, MP40s. Thank you.
Okay.
So, you want to have one of those? Those are there. The
they-
potato mashers would have blown up in the fire.
I'm just thinking that in case we meet another one of those mama creepers, this sort of weapon would negate scale.
Yeah, it's a small burst weapon, but yeah, it still does the burst. So yes, it would.
Okay. I'll grab one of them.
Yeah, if you want to, you're doing it. You can do a general scrounge for weapons if you want to, since that's not a specific thing.
If you don't mind, grab all of them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's looking for. Yeah. I mean, each of these soldiers has an MP40 on them, so if you want to.
Yeah, Constantine immediately bolts and switches his sten out for an MP40 because it's a superior submachine gun.
So
somebody's been playing too much Silent Storm.
Is there anything that Val can actually do right now?
I mean, it's up to you. First, Lazar, you want? I mean, just having the sprained knee. I mean, only really necessarily impacts you if you're doing something that's opposed by somebody who wants to, invoke that against you, basically. Or if you put yourself into a situation where you're like, I'm going to try to run across this meadow in 30 seconds, then I'm probably going to say no, you can't do
Fair
that.
enough.
Grammatically wouldn't make sense.
The broken arm, though. I mean, can I do any mechanics?
Sure. What exactly are you wanting to do?
I just like right now. The only thing I can think that Val can do is find a hole and recover. I mean, there are a bunch of mechanic stuff that I wanted to do once we got a pause and get him to a workshop of some sort. But that.
Right. Right. I mean, as far as straight mechanics stuff goes, I mean, you've got that special stunt that you can use to do stuff. I mean, I guess I don't know what you can do with this car that you have in front of you. It's it kind of it blew up over a mine and
the first thing I'd want to do is try to improve the weapons we've got, make the rate of fire higher, make them do more damage, something like that.
Right. Yeah. That would be the kind of thing that you could do if you sat down and you need time and equipment to do that. That's
the
equipment you can probably find, but The equipment you can probably jerry-rig together, but the time is kind of the big thing. It's you're where you are. You're out here. You've found a place. I'm guessing you're not going to want to camp out near what may still be a living creeper down, the area from you.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's gonna, I think, just want to go someplace. Can he get medical treatment?
Well, if you're looking for straight up, like a straight up hospital, the closest hospital is going to be all the way back up in York.
Village doctor.
Yeah, that village. If you want to go back to that village, absolutely, yeah.
Well, he's probably
Dramatic irony
with the sprained knee. I mean, if it's safe, if it looks like all the other soldiers are dead, he'll come down and join the rest of them. He can look around, try to draw conclusions, I guess, but he's physically not useful much.
Okay, Constantine.
Sure, yeah.
Constantine suggests a plan, and that's, it's very dangerous to go back to that village, he argues, because, there are Nazis here, and they obviously came from the direction of the village, so we don't know what we'll find there. On the other hand, Morphis and Stephen's characters, I've completely lost their names, John something and Roderick.
John,
we know that
Major John Smythe.
There, so, no man left behind and all that. So that's an option. The other option is getting that car that Brian took his booby trap out of and seeing if that works. And
we still have.
Well, you should still have your own car that you left parked.
Okay, well, there we go then. We've got two cars even, don't we? Or did the other guys get dropped off?
I think you guys all came up in the same car. The other car would be back up next to the tavern, and obviously you wouldn't know this because dramatic irony, but that was one of the cars that got blown up.
So I'm gonna have to pack it in shortly, regardless.
Right. Yeah, I think we're at a point where we're probably figuring out where we're going, so we can pick this up next week. But yeah,
from Val's point of view, it makes sense to go back. If there are any Nazis left in the village, then we have allies who can let us know, or at least help us defeat them if it comes to that. If there are none there, then at least we have a place where we can rest overnight.
And this is the English countryside where Nazis have been sighted, explosions have gone off. This area is going to be crawling with the English army, like tomorrow or in a couple of hours.
Sure. I mean, there is still the time issue that it's, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, as far as you can be in the middle of nowhere in England. So, there's still probably, if there's something else out there, there's still maybe some time before before you guys get overwhelming force back in your favor. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely up to you. As far as full medical facilities go, there is probably a doctor of some sort back in that village who tends to people and also to the sheep in the area when they get the hoof and mouth disease. As far as full medical facilities goes, that would be up in York, which is like a 4-hour drive or so. There's also the point that you'll also are going to want to, of course, report on what's happened. I'm going to guess to your superiors, and in the case perhaps of Louis, perhaps somebody else as well.
I see. I could feel a compel coming.
Maybe.
No, but
I don't want to give you compel at the end of the story.
It would make total sense for him to try to report back to his father, because that's who he's working for.
You know what? In fact, I think I'm gonna go ahead and everybody. I'm gonna give you that right now. So we'll just keep you'll all get your refresh at the next turn, but this is here. That's you'll also get the additional ones here as well, since nobody's really had the ability, to use these compels here since the last fight.
So what's that for?
That was for accepting that yes, in fact, you're going to be telling your dad about everything.
Oh, but don't give me a fate point for that, because that's his job. So I don't think I should get a fate point for doing what the character would do anyway.
Oh, no. See, you do. And the reason is why is because it's going to make everybody else's job that much harder, because you were hired by not MI6, whatever.
Yeah, I
This
can kind of
group,
feel the kind of direction this is heading in, so fair enough.
right? Okay, so just want to, yeah, just so you understand that I'm not giving you that faint point because it's free or anything. It will make the story a bit more complicated. So all right, so are you guys heading then back to the little town or all the way back to York? Just so I can get an idea of what to prepare
I
for.
would think we should at least go through the town. Maybe we have to go through the town, but try to pick up the rest of our party.
Sure, the town is back at basically this little fork over here, on the map. So yeah, so you've got to at least drive through the town in order to get back to York. So all right, so we'll pick that up from there then.
Sure.
I'll grab that last little bit of dynamite out of the woods.
Oh, sure. Oh, that's right. And then Lazar, you were I got sidetracked, but you were wanting to scrounge the area to just like just looking for weapons in general that you could use.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go and make a scrounge roll.
So that's everything is useful do I get to use that?
Yeah. So that's that would be your that would be either the what is that? You're using survival to
plus 2. Additionally to my survival, it's also plus
Okay.
2, which is going to be huge. It's actually plus 5.
Nice. Almost as good as Louis with disguise.
So plus 4.
By which I mean Constantine.
So 6. It's actually 6.
Okay. Well, cool. Actually, oh, I see what you did. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So 6. Yeah. You in the back seat, you find a German light machine gun.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. I'm not the German equivalent of a Browning.
What is it called? MG43, something like that.
42.
42.
MG42. Actually, is it an MG40? Because that sounds like
It would be probably be the
yeah.
40.
MG42.
Yeah. I don't think it can be a 42 because it's still 1940.
Yeah, and it's not likely to be an MG40 either. Let's say
I don't know what they
so
had
it's
before.
39, like the hybrid kind of
It's
model.
a prototype MG42.
Yeah, I would like that. Johnny, I'd like to do a search as well to see if there's anything, maybe a hidden compartment, anything that might have survived lockbox or whatever from the Germans before we head out.
Okay. Louis has flipped everybody pretty well already, but sure, you can go ahead.
Okay, it's a
Actually, I guess he hasn't searched the car, but yeah, you can go ahead and give it a try. The car is burned out, so that's not going to be easy.
MG34 is the one actually that would be appropriate.
Yeah, that sounds more correct too, because I'm pretty sure that the MG42 is named after the year it came out.
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
the MG34 came out in 29, it was introduced into the military. 34. Anyway, yeah, that works.
All right. I'm sure this is going to be very, very germane.
I made that roll wrong. It's supposed to be +4 because I'm doing.
It's pronounced German.
Lazar.
What?
That's.
All right. I'm sorry. What were you
So
doing?
I was doing the same thing as Lazar, using scrounging, using survival with everything is useful, and I hit
Okay, you
+2
got
instead
those
of
well.
+4, so that should be a 5, not a 3.
All right. Yeah. So in the and what exactly were you looking for?
Anything that might have been locked up in like anything important that might have been locked up in a bomb-proof case, in a briefcase, anything along those lines.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as talking with Louis, I don't think we found anything that was like secretive that has the secrets that they can find. I do think that perhaps you found various weapon parts, perhaps in like a locked compartment in the truck, that may perhaps give you a boost to modifying weapons in the future.
Okay. I'll take it.
There we go. The machine Gewehr 08. That's good. That's a really old one though. Anyway, I don't think it matters what the machine gun is. It's an LMG that you found with a roll of the machine gun
With a drum?
bullets, whatever. A drum. There you go. Do you have the drums or is the big hand-fed roll? I don't know. I guess it depends on the weapon.
I've only just realised, oh shit, Lazar has a machine gun.
Oh, shit.
You had the Sten, right? That's... Oh, Lazar. Lazar has a machine gun now. I see what you mean. I'm not thinking. All right, so I think we're good. So you want to leave the story there then?